Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah and day 12 of the Christmas Craft Countdown, where I'm sharing 20 festive-themed Cricut projects in 20 days. Half of the projects are designed by me and half are guest designer projects from some of my crafting friends. Today's project is by Emily Miner from Miner DIY, and it's this clever exploding box with a hidden photo surprise inside. With a passion for crafting and a belief in its therapeutic benefits, Emily loves helping others create personalized photo gifts. From fun pop-out cards and explosion boxes to supportive cards for difficult situations, Emily offers many projects for expressing emotions and connecting with loved ones. Emily is dedicated to sharing her creations and experiences to bring joy and meaningful connections to other crafters. This exploding box project is so clever. It looks like a normal gift box, but when the lid is lifted, the sides come out to reveal a snow globe-shaped photograph inside. Let's get started. The files for this project are free for the next 24 hours. Here's how to download them. First, register a free ticket for the Christmas Craft Countdown at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23. Click any of the buttons on the page and enter your name and email to register. If you're already registered, check for an email from me with subject line Christmas Craft Countdown ticket information, or any of the other emails from me that you have been sent throughout the countdown. Can't find them? Check your junk or spam box to see if they've gone there by mistake. These emails contain the link to view the countdown projects and download today's files. Scroll down the page to find today's project. Click the button to start the files automatically downloading to your computer or mobile device. Each download is only available for free for 24 hours after it goes live. If you've missed some, check out the Instant Access Bundle at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23 bundle, which gives immediate and ongoing access to all of the files from the Christmas Craft Countdown, plus loads of extra bonus designs. All downloads come in zip folders. You need to unzip them before you can upload the files into Cricut Design Space.
Oh, why, hello there, my crafty friend. I am so pleased that you could join me, your jolly old crafting buddy, Mrs. Claus, at my friend Emily's workshop today. I hope you've been staying cozy and sipping on some hot cocoa or a hot toddy if that's what you prefer to help you stay warm. Today, we have a workshop that's as delightful as a plate of freshly baked gingerbread cookies. Imagine a magical cube that spreads into a winter wonderland. The HTV snowflakes are like little snow kisses from the North Pole, adding that extra special touch to your creation. And right in the center, a cherished photo is captured in a tiny globe, like a little memory treasure. That's what we'll be creating together today in Emily's Frosty Photo Globe Surprise Workshop. Now, get ready for a jolly good time, my crafty little elves. So grab your Cricut, your photos, your favorite warm beverage, and a sprinkle of enthusiasm, and let's create something that'll make Santa himself say, "Now that's crafty." The first step is always to upload the SVG. And so I have this cute little Christmas Craft Countdown folder, and you can get that from my site too. Sign up for my community, I'll send it right to you. There's my zip file, and I have downloaded it and put it in its own folder. So let's start with the SVG. So I'm just going to drag the Frosty Surprise Explosion box right there. Upload it to Design Space, and then add it to the canvas. The first step is always to ungroup. Oh, this is so much fun. Okay, so here
we have these light blue snowflakes. They are going to be cut out of HTV. They are too fine to be cut out of cardstock. HTV is so much easier, as you'll see. And then this is the base layer, which will be cut out of 12 by 12 cardstock. This layer right here is currently a basic cut line, but we are going to change that to pen. And by changing it to pen, it's going to basically draw an outline, so it'll look like our snowflakes have a little bit of a shadow, which will kind of make them pop off the paper. This next line, this basic cut line right here, we need to turn that into a score line. And the next one, and that's correct, basic cut line. So one of the secrets to getting your explosion box to fall nicely is to do deeper score lines. So to copy the score line in exactly the same place, right on top of each other, what I'm going to do, I have it highlighted here. Hold down the Alt key and click on it. And you can see it duplicated all the way up here. And I'm going to actually do it one more time. And now we have 3 score lines right on top of each other. So I'm going to select the top 2 and bring them down and put them right here with the other ones. Oh, only one. There we go. Okay, so we have 3 score lines, a draw, and the basic cut. So now we'll highlight that whole section and click Attach. And now that's ready to cut. And you can see the HTV snowflakes below it. We can send that to the back just to make it a little easier viewing. Our next step will be the lid, which is right here. And we're going to do the same thing, the top snowflakes, HTV, the line underneath it. So if I hide these top HTV snowflakes, you can see right here. But we are going to change that to pen. This line needs to change to a score line. Click on this top layer and attach those 3 layers. Great. And let's go ahead and show those snowflakes again and send that one to the back. Okay, and these pieces are the outside decoration. You don't need to do anything with them at all. I like to have a border and then a decorative piece out of some patterned cardstock above it. So let's go ahead and make that, which will become our box. I think I'm going to cut these, the side decoration, out of some gold patterned paper. The snowflakes will be out of HTV, so of course we need to mirror them. And we can also arrange them in one 6-inch piece of HTV. All right, there we go. So it's mirrored and it is all under the 6-inch mark. And here we have our base piece, which I am going to cut out of 65-pound cardstock. And here we have our lid, which I'm going to cut out of black, use a gold pen on, and then cut out the other blue squares out of heavy black cardstock also. So let's go ahead and cut those out. When you're weeding the snowflakes, be sure to just take out that thin piece in the center and not the center of this particular snowflake. Other things to watch out are the center of the circles and the stars. Now let's assemble the base. Before you score or do anything else, first put on the HTV snowflakes. Now the carrier sheet can be quite sticky, which is why I stick it to my shirt or my arm, just to take a little bit of that stickiness away. I have torn my paper before when I pulled away the carrier sheet from the HTV. and then align it carefully on the outline. I prefer to press down one snowflake at a time. That way I can make fine little adjustments on the other snowflakes right before I do them too. When using HTV on cardstock, you might notice that I'm not actually using any parchment paper or anything between the carrier sheet and my Easy Press Mini. It helps me ensure that the HTV doesn't slide around after I've placed it in the right spot. You only need to hold it down for about 5 seconds on the middle heat, so the parchment paper really isn't necessary. If you press too hard or too long, you might notice some adhesive from the HTV spilling out of the sides of your snowflake. In that case, try not to move your Easy Press around a lot and press for a shorter amount of time. With cardstock, I find that it's almost always better to wait a few seconds until it is a little bit cooler before you peel off the carrier sheet. Doesn't that shadow just make those snowflakes pop out more? I love it. And you might notice that it's not perfect. This gift is handmade, so it's not going to be perfect. I have the base done now, so now I'll do the same thing for the lid. Now I'll assemble the box and lid. For the lid, fold and then burnish along all of the score lines. I always try to get these creases nice and sharp to make the lid nice and square. Put a dab of glue on each corner tab and then glue that tab to the inside of the box lid. I always use a clothespin to hold it in place while it dries. Now we'll burnish the base piece. To make it fall nicely, you want to burnish along the score lines, flip it over, and then burnish again. And repeat this 2 or 3 times. This weakens the paper and helps make your explosion box actually explode. For the corner pieces, just fold up like I'm showing you here and burnish once. After burnishing, flip over your box and glue on your decorative paper pieces. Remember, this will be the outside of the box. All right, so now I'm going to hit Control A to select everything and group it all together and just hide it since we already have it cut out. Let's work on the next part. So let's go ahead and do the snow globe next. So I'm going to upload this SVG and add it to the canvas also. Of course, ungroup. And now I'm going to put a picture in the snow globe. I'm going to do it on both sides actually. That's what these white circles are for right here. This is where our photo is going to go. So I'm going to upload my image. And go into my Christmas photos, which I've already saved. Not exactly sure which one I'm going to use yet, or which two. So let's start with this one. Whenever you're working with photos or any other images, you always just want to choose complex, no matter how simple the image is. Apply and continue. We do not want to remove any background here. And save it as a print then cut. To find the image later, it is great to name it. Something that you'll remember or that's easily searchable, which I have already done. I'm going to upload that. And I'm going to upload 2 more photos using the exact same process, choosing complex and a print then cut image. I'm going to select all of these and add them to the canvas. And most of the time, photos pull in quite large. So let's go ahead and change this to, say, 4 inches. Much more reasonable to work with. And I like to zoom in quite a bit so we can really see what we're working with here. Okay, so here are our photos. I'm going to ungroup those. Okay, send this one to the back. Nope, baby's cut off. We don't want her head cut off. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and grab this other circle. And I'll just align it here. And I don't even need to turn it to a guide because I'm using the snow globe as the guide. So I have my cut piece and hold down the shift key and click on the photo here and click slice. Again, there's my perfect circle. Delete that outside photo. Okay, great. So we have our photos ready to go. Now, for the frames on the snow globe, these black 2 pieces with the flaps, we need to change this one line to a score line. And of course, attach that. And same with the other one. Here's that basic cut line. Score. Click on the top layer there and attach it. So these 2 black pieces I'm going to cut out of 110-pound cardstock just to make it nice and firm. These little thin red circles you can cut out of whatever you want. And these gray pieces, they are together. But here you can see them. Just go in front for a little bit more decoration. This is the base. This circle here, just to give it a little extra interest. And this piece I am also going to cut out of 110-pound cardstock to help the snow globe stand up in the center. So let's go ahead and cut this out. Looks good with our print and cut and all our pieces. So whenever you're doing print then cut, especially with photos, we're going to hit send it to the printer. You always want to add bleed, and you always want to use the system dialog. So when I press the print button, it mentions that the system dialog may pop up behind Design Space. However, what it does is it appears right in the center of your screen often. So if I minimize that, this is the center. And we don't want it on the default settings. We definitely want to choose, for me, where to feed it from, which is the rear tray, so I can load my glossy photo paper in there. And you always want to have it on the best setting. So even if you're printing on regular cardstock, you always want to choose best setting for your photos. And I find just with any image at all, if it's digital paper, just always use best. So let's go ahead and print that out. After printing, I put it carefully into the corner of the mat and then load the mat. And one mistake I made here was not moving those roller wheels to the side. When printing photos, you always want to move the roller wheels off the photo. It doesn't always leave tracks, but often it does. Okay, my Cricut's all done cutting. My mat's not very sticky, so I can pull off my outline like this. And you can see how, since we added the bleed, it cuts with no white around the edges, which is important. And now, of course, you want to flip your mat over and carefully peel the mat away from the photos while holding the photos down. This helps prevent the cardstock from bending. And now we'll assemble the snow globe. First, dot just little bits of glue on the decorative part of the snow globe. This is where the Bearly Art Precision Crafting Glue, that fine tip, really comes in handy there. Then glue the frame onto the snow globe base. Take your time so you can get it right in the center. Repeat for the other side. Next, glue the stands on. Again, the precision tip really helps because these are quite small pieces. Now we'll glue the photos to the back of the frame. Just put a small layer of glue on the inside edge of the circle to glue it down. Since we cropped them perfectly, it is very easy to tell exactly where the photo goes. Then glue both of the backs together. Be sure not to glue the tab. You only want to glue to the base of the snow globe. Glue on that decorative circle to the black base. And then fold the bottoms of the tab up. And I always try to crease them pretty sharply, get them all the way up. Then you glue both tabs to the bottom of the base there. And I try to make sure that it is centered in the slot. Glue the other tab there. And then I hold it down on my craft surface to make sure that it's nice and flat. And our snow globe's done. Now that my snow globe pieces are all cut out, again, I'm going to hit Control A, select everything, group it together, and hide it. And go ahead and save it too. When you're working with photos, I find that Design Space does tend to crash a little more frequently. All right, so let's upload our final SVG. Let's go back to my folder with my downloads. And this is the inside decoration. So I have included a petal envelope and just 2 squares for some decorative paper. You could put photos in there if you like. You know, it's up to you. So ungroup, of course. Let's zoom out a little bit. So the petals are right here for the petal envelope. This piece, we need to change this basic cut line to a score line. Again, I can click here and highlight both these pieces and then attach them. Do the same for the next petal envelope. Red square goes score. Click this top layer here and attach. Okay, so those are ready to be cut out of paper or 65-pound cardstock. You really don't want to cut it out of a heavier cardstock. It doesn't fold very well if you do it that way. And for these petals, I could cut them out of scrapbook paper. Let's go ahead and ungroup them. So you can see these pieces are actually 2 different pieces. I really like how it looks when you have a black border or another color of border around the petals, but it's up to you if you want to do that. But I'm actually going to use some digital paper that I've already downloaded. So in my images, you can see I have these red stars, I have gingerbread men, I have the kind of candy cane stripes, and the candy canes themselves. So I'm going to select all those, add it to the canvas, and then use those to cut my petals. Again, they're pulling in really big. I'm going to change these ones to 6 inches. And I'm going to use the exact same method. So this blue piece, I'm going to change to a guide. And better bring that to the front so I can see it. And now, this is such a cool part with the digital paper. I can arrange my pattern exactly how I want it. So like, do I want just a few candy canes? If I want more candy canes, just make the paper smaller. Too small, I think. And I like to crop them, you know, so you get most of the design in there. Yeah, like that. So I'm going to select both my guide and the paper again and hit slice. Move that out of the way. Oh, I don't think I'm going to use the candy cane paper anymore. I could leave it there if I wasn't certain. You can't see the guide so well on this next paper, on the candy cane paper, on the stripy paper, but that is fine. I think I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Again, select those 2 layers, slice. And I'm going to continue to do that with the other ones, which I'll just speed through here. All right, now I'm finished. I can delete that guide because I'm going to use the same colors for the other envelopes. Okay, and to make it easy, since I have them all here, I am not going to bother to arrange and adjust all these pieces. So what I'm going to do is hold down my, select this black background piece, hold down my Alt key, and drag. And again, drag. I'm still having the Alt key hold down and drag. There we go. I can grab these pieces and put them under. And now I want to center them perfectly. So I'm just going to click and drag to select these 2 pieces. From the Align menu, go Center. Great. And now you can see the black piece is still a basic cut piece with the printing cut on top. So I'm just going to flatten those. I'm going to highlight those. Again, align, center, flatten. And flatten. Now I have 4 pieces of digital paper that are going to print out with a black border. I am actually going to use sticker paper for these. So it'll be super easy to take off and put on my petal envelope. It's kind of like cheating, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and delete these pieces because we do not need them. I'm going to have both envelopes be exactly the same. So I'm going to go ahead and select these. Again, hold down your Alt key, drag them over here. And now I have 8 petals for my petal envelopes. It does feel like cheating, doesn't it? Okay, so on this piece, you can do, again, anything you like. You could put another photo in this, in the middle of the envelope. You could put a Christmas greeting. Doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want with it. And for this petal envelope, let's go ahead and ungroup that. And again, I'm going to just delete these since I do not need them anymore. And I don't need to be confused if I need to cut them out or not. And for these 2 pieces, I'm going to cut those blue pieces, I think, out of the same cardstock that I used for the outside. So I think I'm ready for all my other center decoration to be cut out. So let's go ahead, save it again, and click Make It. Somehow I got twice the amount of petals that I needed and didn't even notice it. So I printed out this page with an extra set of petals on it. And again, use the best settings. All right, I've got everything cut out for the inside decoration. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue on the decorative paper to those middle pieces. For the petal envelopes, I am just going to peel those stickers off and carefully place them on each petal. With this brand of vinyl sticker paper, you can actually reposition it if you take it off very carefully. So that's really Really handy if you're trying to get the alignment just perfect. And again, it's just so easy to just pull off those stickers and plop them on the envelope. No glue required. On my site, I do have a tutorial on how to make custom settings so you can get the perfect kiss cut for this specific sticker material. And if you sign up for my community, I'll send that to you too. Now, burnish along the score lines. Glue the center of the envelope in, whether it's a photo or decorative paper, whatever you're putting in there. To close the envelope, tuck each petal in under the previous petal. So now I am just going to glue on all the decorative pieces in the center, which includes the decorative paper and the envelopes. I am not going to glue on the snow globe. I like to leave that loose so that whoever gets your gift can take the snow globe out and display it on their desk or their shelf, wherever they might want to. However, I do make a little circle of blue painter's tape to attach it to the base so it doesn't wobble around. Now, just fold up the box, put the lid on, and our frosty snow globe surprise gift is complete. If you've burnished the base score lines really well, the sides will fall flat when you take off the lid.
Well, dearie, I hope that you've had as much fun as I have during our Frosty Photo Globe Surprise Workshop. Crafting truly warms the heart, doesn't it? Now, as we wrap up our snowy adventure, remember that the holiday spirit does not end here. If you'd like more magical gift box goodies, join Emily's Cozy Crafting Community email list. It's where she shares tips and tricks and, of course, more delightful projects. Just join at the link below. For example, these adorable little Christmas penguins, Christmas trees, or even a menorah could replace the snow globe in your explosion box. And she'll email those SVGs to you straight away when you sign up for her list. Now, do remember that the holidays aren't always filled with joy and laughter. You probably know someone who's struggling this season, maybe due to the loss of a loved one, or health issues, or depression, anxiety, or grief, which truly never goes away. I even know a 73-year-old man who still has conflicting emotions on Christmas Day, as that was the day they buried his father when he was a teenager. So, please, treat everyone gently this holiday season. You never know what burden someone is carrying. And if you're looking for the right thing to say to someone, Emily has many cards on her site to help with that. I am wishing you all of the warmth and love and creativity this holiday season. May you have a very merry crafting journey.
I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make this Frosty Snow Globe Surprise exploding box. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and festive fun. And don't forget, the link to get the cut files for this project is craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23, but they are only free to download for 24 hours after this video goes live. I hope to see you tomorrow for day 13 of the Christmas Craft Countdown. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!